How Elon Musk's new internet will change the world. You're using the internet right now to watch this video, but maybe your internet isn't great, or at least you feel it could be better. What if you could stream this video in 4K resolution, or even 8K resolution, from anywhere in the world with no buffering or lag? That would be pretty great. You probably would like that, and so would Elon Musk. One of the most popular billionaires ever, Elon Musk is planning to improve your internet. Before we start the video, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe for more tech content coming soon. Starlink. SpaceX has launched hundreds of satellites into the sky. These satellites are part of the Starlink program. Eventually, there will be thousands of them in the sky. So how do they work? Well, there are just a lot more of them than other internet satellites. The sheer number of planned satellites will far outnumber any competitive internet service provider. In addition to this, they are linked together in orbit, with optical lasers pointed at each other for maximum communication and connection. Since these satellites are so small and simple, they can be mass-produced, unlike other satellites, at a much cheaper price point too. Finally, these satellites are much lower in the atmosphere than other internet satellites. While most internet satellites have a latency of around 600 milliseconds, the Starlink satellites will orbit between 30 and 100 times lower, providing latencies of only 25 to 35 milliseconds. That's crazy. How it works. So how does this array of satellites get to you? They will be linked to flat user terminals about as big as a pizza box that track the satellites. They can be put anywhere that can see the sky. Elon Musk is always working with the United States military, working with the Air Force Research Laboratory to test some of their satellites. In fact, the US Air Force has used Starlink in live fire exercises before. In war, communication is everything, and being able to communicate 3 to 5 times faster is an incredible advantage. Getting Starlink. While Starlink isn't officially up and running for consumers yet, right now, if you live in the United States, you can buy into the Better Than Nothing beta. SpaceX charges you $499 for a user terminal and an additional $99 a month after that, offering competitive internet speeds. While the speeds aren't anything unattainable by other premium services from internet service providers, it is still in the early stages, and as more satellites are launched, the service will get faster, much faster. It is also competitively priced, and not a terrible deal by any stretch for the speeds it offers. Even so, this service is best utilized in rural areas. If you live in a city, the high density of internet users can overload the small Starlink network. When the network is complete, there will be around 42,000 satellites in orbit, which is certainly more than the 800 or so they have at the moment. Concerns about Starlink. While this all sounds great, there are some people who are worried about the damage Starlink will do to the atmosphere, and it may hurt space exploration. This is because the individual satellites are very bright, reflecting the sun's light back onto the Earth's surface. This makes it harder for telescopes and cameras on Earth to take pictures of space, which in turn makes space exploration and data collection much more difficult. They show up as streaks in photos, known as a Starlink train. Observatories on the lookout for near-Earth objects, like asteroids that could collide with Earth, can't do their jobs properly with the Starlink satellites obscuring vision. It could also obstruct the search for objects further away, like new planets and black holes. Space is a big place, and even a small little satellite obscures a ton of space behind it. Having as many as 42,000 of them could significantly hurt space observation. SpaceX has listened to these complaints and has put glare-proof coating onto their new satellites, helping limit the amount of light they reflect. While this is a step in the right direction, it doesn't solve the problem entirely, and many researchers still have concerns. Concerns about the environment. Perhaps more concerning is the issue of space debris. If one of the satellites in Starlink goes down, due to the high density of satellites, it's not impossible that it would crash into another nearby satellite. This can cause a chain reaction known as the Kessler effect. A satellite crashes, knocks out another satellite, which then crashes, and if that continues, it can knock out the entire network or very large chunks of it. Then there are hundreds or even thousands of non-functional satellites. Garbage, essentially, floating around in space, waiting to burn up in the Earth's atmosphere, which could take years. While this is happening, space travel becomes essentially impossible, as planning a safe launch around such a debris-filled atmosphere becomes extremely difficult. Not only that, but it is extremely costly for SpaceX, and there is a lot of money involved. Luckily, SpaceX has confirmed that the Kessler effect would be extremely improbable, and their satellites have used autopilot technology to be able to avoid objects they may crash into. The future. SpaceX wants to launch Starlink because of the good it will provide to rural areas that don't have access to the internet. But it also is a financial gamble. While it's costly now, once the system is up and running, SpaceX stands to gain $30 to $50 billion a year, which can more than fund all their other programs, including their planned trips to Mars. However, since SpaceX has started work on Starlink, other competitors have stepped into the ring. This can cause problems related to the Kessler effect and space observation. With that thrown into the ring, the number of low-orbit internet satellites could go up to as high as 100,000 or even higher. However, all of this is planned to happen in the future, and technology and AI will be improving constantly. SpaceX doesn't want to hurt its own area of profit, space. Fortunately, measure twice, cut once applies to profitable companies too. Starlink is regulated and wants to be the leader in debris mitigation. The Starlink satellites are temporary and cannot sustain a full orbit. At the end of their life, they utilize onboard propulsion to launch themselves back into the atmosphere, burning up in around 1 to 5 years. Elon Musk is a future idealist. He wouldn't want to make a product that makes the future worse. Thanks for watching our video. Looking for more? Check out this playlist. If you're interested in the Starlink beta, you can go to starlink.com and sign up. What do you think of Elon Musk's internet plan? Let us know down in the comments below. Be sure to subscribe and turn on notifications so that you don't miss more videos by us. And we'll see you in the next video.